In the heart of London stands a fortress, not built for fairy tales, but for fear. Behind these walls, history wasn't written with ink, but with blood. Every brick has witnessed treason, torture, and tragedy. The Tower of London isn't just a castle, it's a chilling reminder of how power truly works. In a land of fog, kings, and ancient stone streets stood a mighty river called the Thames. People bustled through markets, shouted from boats, and lit candles when the sun went down. But one day, something strange started to happen. Huge stones began arriving by boat. Men with beards and hammers, wearing rough woolen tunics, stacked the stones taller and taller. And people in the city whispered, "What are they building? A castle? A giant chimney? A wizard's tower?" Nope. They were building something no one in London had ever seen before. A fortress so big, so strong, and so fearsome, it would be known as... A brand new king had just taken over England. His name was William the Conqueror. He had sailed all the way from France with his powerful army and claimed the English crown for himself. But even though he now wore the crown and sat on the throne, he didn't feel very safe. What if the people of London don't like me, he wondered. What if they try to kick me out? So William had a clever and slightly scary idea. He decided to build something big, something strong, something that would keep an eye on the city and make everyone think twice before causing trouble. Like a giant stone eye that never blinked. And guess what? He built a fortress. Not just any fortress, a big, bold, and towering stone giant that would make anyone thinking of rebelling stop in their tracks. But there was a problem. The materials to build such a stronghold weren't even available in London. So, what did William do? He sent his soldiers across the sea, all the way back to Normandy and beyond, to gather the best stone they could find. And not just stone. He brought in skilled builders, clever engineers, and master artisans from different countries. People who knew exactly how to build something grand and terrifying. Building the Tower of London wasn't a walk in the royal garden. Hundreds of workers rolled up their sleeves, well, if they even had sleeves, and got to work. Day and night, they lugged giant stones that weighed more than a sleeping dragon. Some pulled, some pushed, and some just yelled, "Heave!" Even when they weren't doing anything. Every group has that one guy. There were stone carvers who chipped away like super focused woodpeckers, making windows that looked like tiny castles. Masons built stairs that curled around like snails who'd had too much tea. One poor guy kept getting lost halfway up and had to come down for snacks. The first thing they finished was the White Tower, and whoa, was it big. So big, in fact, that kids in the street whispered, "It's touching the clouds." Okay, maybe not quite, but it sure looked like it. Inside? Oh, it was like a medieval mansion/fortress/secret lair. There were royal rooms with giant fireplaces, cozy corners for guards to nap in, and secret passageways where you could totally pretend to be a sneaky knight on a mission. And every time someone asked, "Are we done yet?" the king would just grin and say, "Not even close." Nope. The Tower of London had many secrets hidden behind its thick stone walls. Sure, it was a castle where kings and queens snuggled into shiny royal beds. But that was just the beginning. It was also a prison, where unlucky folks were locked away in cold, damp rooms with dripping ceilings and rattling chains. Spooky, right? It was an armory stacked with glittering swords, clanking shields, and helmets so heavy you'd wobble just trying one on. And, believe it or not, it even had a royal zoo. Yep. Kings loved showing off strange animals from faraway lands. Lions roared in the courtyards, elephants stomped around in fancy pens, and one very curious polar bear even went for swims in the river next door. But do you know who started it all? That's right, King William. The same William who crossed the sea with an army, took the crown, and built the tower to scare the locals and show who's boss. But time marched on, even for mighty kings. As the years rolled by, William the Conqueror got older and rounder. People started whispering behind his back, calling him William the Fat. Shh, don't tell him we said that. Then one day, in 1087, while riding his horse through a burning French town, because yes, he was off fighting another war, his horse tripped. William flew through the air and landed with a thud so hard it badly injured him. Because of his rather, royal belly, the injury was worse than anyone expected. He was rushed to a quiet monastery where he lay in bed, probably grumbling about the lumpy pillows. And there, England's great tower builder took his last breath. But the story doesn't end there. At his funeral, when they tried to lay him in his stone tomb, guess what? He didn't fit. The poor monks tried to squish him in, but let's just say it ended with a rather loud pop in a very smelly room. Everyone ran away, holding their noses. And yet the Tower of London still stands, tall and proud, filled with centuries of secrets, stories, and echoes of the king who built it.